At the Partial Breakaway Podcast with your hosts Nick and Junior and producer Vince, bringing you elite fantasy hockey information to help you win your fantasy leagues and win at life.
Episode 118 of the Partial Breakaway Fantasy Hockey Podcast. I'm co-host Junior, accompanied by co-host Nick and producer Vince. Welcome to the first episode of month number 2 of the NHL season. Happy Halloween.
Month number 11 in the calendar.
Also known as Movember, for those of you growing mustaches to raise money for prostate cancer. Mm-hmm. Movember is what it is. This is the time to do it.
Yeah, can't do it. My kids won't look at me anymore if I shave this face.
Why
It's such a lovable face, though. Such a lovable face.
When was the last time you had no beard?
Ooh, Halloween. About 4 or 5 years ago. Halloween.
Okay, it's not so bad. I thought it was
If
worse.
those of you don't follow Patisserie Italia
Oh
on
my
social
gosh.
media,
Jesus Christ.
you would have seen producer Vince in quite the outfit for Halloween.
Yeah.
Would have been a lot of fun to just post that all over our social medias as well, Junior.
Well, speaking of social medias, our social medias are at Partial Break Pod on Instagram, X, and TikTok. So be sure to follow us there. If you're not looking for Vince and his Halloween costume, you'll find our shorts and our clips on previous episodes.
I thought your shorts like you're wearing shorts. That would have sold more than our shorts.
Oh, you better believe it. These legs.
Don't forget about YouTube, though. YouTube, like and subscribe for any video content. We also have audio content on YouTube. And if you want to listen to our episodes on in the car or on the road, any audio podcast platform, you
Apple,
search,
Spotify, we're everywhere.
yeah, Partial
iHeart.
Breakaway Fantasy Hockey Podcast, and we'll pop up. That's for sure.
Yes, yes. And talking about pop-up, unfortunately, the Blue Jays did not beat the LA Dodgers in Game 7 this week.
And all they needed was a pop-up.
And,
A couple of times.
well, yeah, I mean, there was some... it was actually the first time I watched a full game of baseball, I think, in a very, very long time.
Honestly, it's been
Game
one
7
of
of the World Series was when I decided to start watching.
It was one of the most entertaining World Series in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, it had my attention. I get it. I was rooting for the Blue Jays being Canadian, but regardless,
Not
it was
everybody-
entertaining.
Not everybody was.
No,
a
I
lot
mean-
of Montrealers don't like the fact that the Blue Jays were part of the reason the Expos had to disappear. And
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
It's
that was
different
politics back in
management.
then, you know. But still holding a grudge,
Bitterness.
some bitter Montreal guys, you know.
You hold a grudge for too long, life passes you by, man.
Well, look, Toronto has won basketball
Yep.
championship.
They won baseball.
They've won baseball in '94.
92,
Back-to-back.
93, back to
92,
back.
93.
92, 93, sorry, okay. And this would have been another one for them in baseball. So that would have been pretty interesting. They just can't seem to do anything in hockey.
Yeah, well,
No,
you know what?
It's not even a shot at them. It's
Yeah.
literally 67.
Yeah.
6-7.
6-7.
My son started doing that.
Oh my.
And your son started doing that as well.
You know what? Thankfully for them that the Blue Jays were in the World Series because the media was all focused on baseball. Because the way they came out of the gates, the way they've been going, hasn't been great.
You mean Toronto Maple
The
Leafs?
Maple Leafs.
Yeah, they haven't started off the year very well. However, still a very young season. And also, there's been a lot of changes, right? To that team. No
Yeah,
Mitch
but
Marner.
I thought they replaced
Nick
Mitch
Roy.
Marner.
Did we start down
Nah,
that?
yeah.
Right?
They replaced Mitch Marner with other players, but that's still a lot of new players that need to learn.
Did
the
we
system.
start the odd man rush without me knowing?
Why is that part of the odd man rush?
No,
I didn't read the
there
broadsheet, so
is a Leafs topic, but it's not the.
I wasn't in the meeting.
You were just here doing your lineup for Pebble.
At least you called it Pebble, my friend. At least you called it Pebble.
All right, so shall we start the odd man
It's
rush?
finally kicking in.
Odd Man Rush.
Whether you're chasing goals, breaking records, or building champions, Sportira has your team covered. Custom uniform, premium textiles, fast turnaround. From the field to the court, from grassroots to pros, Sportira brings your game to life. Outthink, outwork, outplay. www.sportira.com. Hey, yep. Thank you, Sportira, for making us look good with this sweet merch. Let's get right into it, guys. There's a lot of signings this week, big signings. So we're going to start with Thomas Harley, 8 years, $10.587 million on Power Play 1, off of Power Play 1. But that's a massive contract with the cap going up. What do you think, Nick?
I think this is our segment where we take 30-second news and notes from the NHL and make it into a 3-minute take. Thomas Harley.
Well, Junior's not hosting Odd Man Rush anymore.
Thomas Harley,
Retired.
8 years. Look, a lot of people are going to look at this and say, well, how does Layton Hudson do 8.75 or whatever it was, and Thomas Harley do 10.5? A lot of UFA years are eaten up in Thomas Harley's deal here, and that's why the cap hit AAV is actually a little bit higher. Harley's been great for Dallas. He took over that Power Play 1. There's not enough good things to say or bad things to say, should I say? Because Harley started off, Heiskanen started off the year very slow.
Mm-hmm.
He's picked it up lately. Harley's been the number one offensive defenseman of that team, and I think he's earned that $10.5 million.
I believe there's a good and a bad. It's a very good contract for Dallas, NHL team Dallas Stars. Fantasy owners for Harley, I think, might find this contract, the beginning of this contract, a little bit high for a player who's still competing for power play time with Heiskanen. It's like Junior was saying, it's Harley 1, Heiskanen 1, Harley 1, Heiskanen 1. So it seems like they're going with the hot end, and at the end of the day, I feel Heiskanen slowly is getting into the rhythm. But for the Dallas Stars, it's a great contract for the Dallas Stars NHL fantasy owners who are in a dynasty league. This might hurt for the first 2 years until I feel that Harley really takes over. Because right now, Harley hasn't taken over that power play 1. So I think the first 2 years of this contract might hurt fantasy owners just a bit.
Possibly. I mean, you got to look at it also and say, well, Harley's already on a 62-point pace. That would bring him top 5 in the NHL for defensemen.
Despite only 32% of power play time.
Despite the power play time. So we're talking about a guy that's top 5 right now in the defenseman in the NHL. I think $10 million is very fair for that.
I think it'll end up being market value for defensemen that get 50 to 55 points.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's probably going to be market value for guys that even make less than that.
Ding.
Ding.
Vince, Jacob Markstrom, goalie of the New Jersey Devils, signs 2 years at $6 million, which I think is what he is already making. So basically a 2-year extension for Jacob Markstrom at New Jersey, who's, we'll get to it later, but not having a great start to this season.
Listen, this just proves that they don't trust any of their young goalies that they have in the farm, and they want to win now. So instead of parting ways with Markstrom and giving the spot to Dawes or as the co-host of the New Jersey Devil radio, what's his name? He said Igor.
Oh, Yegorov?
Yeah, Yegorov.
Oh, Yegorov is very young.
Yeah, but
He's
so
not
is
even
Dawes.
21 he's not even 20.
Neil Villapiano.
Yes. So I just believe New Jersey, the window's opening. It's opened, and for them, Markstrom is the person they want in the nets instead of one of the young goaltenders.
Well, look, let's be serious. They have a very, very good tandem right now between Jake Allen and Markstrom.
Yeah.
They don't need their young goalies right now. Their young goalies are useless.
Jake
right
Allen, the one they signed for a lifelong contract.
now. Yes, that Jake Allen, but it's also a lifelong contract of peanuts.
Yeah,
He's barely making any money.
1.35, I think.
Yeah, it's great backup.
Yeah.
For a player that's actually performing at a decent
Oh, he's
pace.
performing better than Markstrom so far.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Markstrom so far this year hasn't started off great. Yes, he has 3 wins, 2 losses, but 875 save percentage. Actually, this is across the league, if you notice. There's a lot of goalies that are starting off below 900 save percentage. If your name isn't Dobesh or Decord, you're basically not up there in the 900s. So, no, Markstrom's starting off slow in the first 5 games of the year. 4 goals against average. It's not what you're expecting, but also you're not breaking the bank to have him. A couple more years for Yegorov to get ready.
Yeah.
Nick, this guy is on pace for a career high 107 points. Signs an 8-year deal with Colorado at $11.5 million. 500,000 shy of what they could have possibly signed Mikko Rantanen. What do you think of this contract for Martin Necas? Will it age well? And I guess as a cherry on top, would you have taken Rantanen at 12 or would you have taken Necas at 11.5?
Well, I mean,
From a fantasy perspective.
it's a great question because you should be comparing Rantanen and Nakash because they literally are in the same position or were in the same position on the top line playing next to McKinnon. And I mean, if this was the case, if Colorado understood where the market was going, they would have known that this is what you're going to be paying guys like Rantanen. And I think they would have kept Rantanen if that was the case. They didn't understand where the market was going, and I think it's a miscalculation on their part. And now they're paying Nakash pretty much the same freaking money, $500,000 different AAV per year. And yes, okay, they started this contract a year after, but sorry guys, Rantanen's hit 100 points before, hasn't he?
Yeah, multiple times.
Nakash had 1 year of 84 points.
Okay. So
He
my
had 53 points before that, 71 points before that, 40 points, 41 points. Like, you're giving the same money that Rantanen got.
yeah, but my rebuttal is Nick just didn't play with Colorado. He played with Carolina. That was a team that's system is a defensive system. Hence why Rantanen did not. I know they have the most goals this year and blah blah blah.
Not this year, last year.
Yeah, but Rantanen was one of the players who did not want to stay in that team either. So there's something to say with that. Rantanen is on pace for 96 points with Dallas. Nature's on pace for 107. Nature's 3 years younger than Rantanen. I believe, like you said, Nick, I don't think Colorado knew the market was going this high. But I also don't believe that Rantanen was signing for $12 million with Colorado. I think he wanted more. I think he signed for $12 million in Dallas because of the tax reasons. But I think he wanted more than $12 million with Colorado, and that's what people are saying out there. He's saying that they didn't speak. It's right now with Colorado.
Well, he was surprised he even got traded.
Yeah, but
I think 12 was his range.
it's a he said she said type thing. From what I'm hearing, Colorado's saying they spoke with Rantanen's agent, and he had given them a number that wasn't in their ballpark. Obviously, the first number you're going to get is never going to be in your ballpark. But listen, he's doing well with Colorado. He adapted well. 17 points, 13 games this year. He's younger. Would have I taken... Listen, if it's for $500,000, obviously I take Rantanen. But I don't think the difference was $500,000.
I think it was.
So at first I was like, can't compare these two. Rantanen is in a different tier. But I think he's starting to win me over, Natchez, because now since he's joined McKinnon's wing, he's been a completely different player. And one of the things that was frustrating him the most with Carolina was that he wanted to carry the puck and they weren't letting him carry the puck. And now with Colorado, you see the puck on his stick more often. I feel like he feels more free. Excuse me. I think Colorado here did a calculated move in the sense that they might have wanted Natchez instead of Rantanen at some point and said, if Rantanen can't sign for this amount, I'd rather have Natchez. They were probably suspecting a little less than 11.5. But I'd rather have Natchez 3 years younger. So now I'm not signing Rantanen until he's 37. I'm signing Natchez till he's 35. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. And if he can pull off 90 points for a 10-point difference, you could take Natchez. It's not a big deal.
And just to go with with Carolina.
I feel like you're really trying to play devil's advocate here.
With Carolina.
One guy's a 100-point player, one guy isn't.
Yeah, but if
Not
Okay,
yet.
okay,
Not
but
yet.
so
But
if
he's
this-
only done it
ever.
twice. He's only done it twice.
Oh,
if this year Natchez hits 100 points, does your opinion change?
let him hit 100 points, and maybe I'll rethink about
at
it.
the end of the time of ice, 17 minutes, 16 minutes, 18 minutes, 17 minutes with Carolina.
Yeah. Okay. So
Colorado
Rantanen,
21. No, Carolina
22,
let me
23,
finish.
23.
Yeah, but Carolina. I'm seeing Natchez. With Carolina, he was getting 17, 16, 18, 17. With Colorado, he's getting 21 minutes and 15. Power play percentage with Colorado, 71.8. With Carolina, 44, 59, 36, 39. Power play time on ice. With Colorado, 4 minutes and 33 seconds. With Carolina, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. He wasn't getting the first line opportunity like he's getting with Colorado. Am I saying he was going to hit 100 points with Carolina? No. But I feel the 53 points, the 40 points would have been much more.
What did he get last year in Colorado?
84.
That's 100 points?
But not a full
I
season.
never said 100 points,
Not a
but
full
you're
season.
you're saying he hit 53, 40. He hit 84 in 79 games. And half the season was with
We're
Colorado.
talking about Rantanen, who had 105 points, 104 points.
Okay, and the other-
back-to-back years.
And the
then,
other?
and then the year that he got traded to Carolina and then traded again to Dallas, he had 88 points. Oh, sorry, he missed 12 points out there. It's still better than Nikesh ever did.
Yeah, but then you're missing the 66 points, the 92 points. In 2020,
You're not
66
convincing me at all.
Order
You're
in
not
the court.
convincing me at all.
Order in the court.
66 points, by the way, the 66 points was in 52 games on a lockout shortened, on a COVID shortened season.
I still think he'll change your mind
was-
once he hits 100 points. Then.
He was on pace for 104 that year.
At the end,
you
I don't think
can't-
the
you can't even
difference is going to be that drastic.
No,
That's all.
and they got a younger
But
player.
Yeah, and they
By
got a
20
younger player.
points. It's a 20-point difference between these two players.
I know. I think he can hit 90 niches regularly with Colorado.
It's still almost a 20-point difference.
We'll see, because I don't think he
If
could
Rantanen
sustain.
hits 100 points.
Rantanen's not on pace for 100
Rantanen's
points.
on
Just
pace
under.
for
96
95.
right now.
96. Anyways, we'll see. It's two different environments. It's their first full year in that environment, so we'll see how it goes. Vince,
Yup.
your boy Logan Cooley signs 8 times $10 million AAV. This might be one of the biggest
this
steals
is-
2-3 years down the line.
Not steals. I think this contract has shifted the landscape of NHL contracts for players coming off of ELC contracts. Players that used to come off of ELC contracts, they used to have like the Matthews, he signed that mid-tier contract and then signed his big contract. Like people off of ELC, usually they would come out at 7 million, 7.5.
Yeah, well, that's it. But
I think
the
this
cap,
contract.
the cap situation.
Yeah, so I think this contract has shifted. So like the Connor Bedars, the Celebrinis, the Coetsiers, the Leo Carlsons, don't expect them to be signing $8 million deals anymore. This is the landscape is 10 million. This is where it's going. The NHL with the salary cap going up. Oh, nice, Nick. I like when you put music on
Yeah.
it.
They can't hear that.
Oh no.
So you're just talking for nothing now.
Well, there was music in my ears. But yeah, so listen, he went for it's a good contract. He's having a phenomenal season. So, I mean, and he is Utah's number 1 centerman. But this is the landscape for what ELC contracts will look like. What your contract's going to look like after an ELC for superstar players.
Look, if this is a sign of things to come, he's on an 82-point pace
For 10 million, that's
in his third year in the league.
yeah. But 10 like when players were signed for 10 million, we were expecting.
So you're
between
wrong, by
9
the way.
About what?
Matthews, off of his ELC, signed $11.6 million.
Yeah, compared to what he
6-year deal.
Yeah, maybe that was
6
a bad
years,
example.
but not 8 years. Now you got 13.5.
No, but what he was trying to say is true, that most players were signing like
Suzuki,
7
what
to
did he
8
sign off
million.
of
Yeah.
ELC?
Suzuki's different.
No, but you can't.
No, but,
He was never
no, but during
he
that
was never,
time,
he was never a 100-point player, Suzuki, on his
Cooley's
ELC.
not a 100-point player.
Clayton Keller, he signed 7
7
million or
million?
whatever.
Yes.
Like those guys all signed for around 7-8 million. That's the new 10 million.
Yeah, no, right now the ELC.
Sorry, the 10 million is the new 8 million. or
ELC
whatever.
contracts right now it's going to
Yes.
be at 10 million. The guys I named you.
Because you mentioned Matthews had an in-between. No, he didn't
Yeah,
have
he
an in-between.
maxed out every
No, but
chance he
he-
got.
yeah,
that guy.
exactly.
He didn't.
He maxed out every single year
yeah.
he could.
Any thoughts on Logan Cooley before we move on?
Great player. Probably going to be the best player or second best player. We'll see. in that draft class. Lane Hudson is there.
Ooh, actually, you just reminded me. I wanted to go back.
Right?
And
Wasn't that
what
a
would be
great-
your top 3 of that draft?
Oh, I know for sure.
Because there's Nazar that came out of nowhere. There's Slavkovsky's picking it up. So I don't know. It's a different style of player, but there's Cooley. There's Lane Hudson that was in that draft.
Yeah. Lane Hudson was in the second round.
Second round.
And
yeah.
he's like probably the top 2 of that draft class. Like you could argue Cooley is more important as a top line center. You could argue an offensive defenseman is more important. But I think 1 and 2 is Cooley and Lane Hudson right off the bat. And then you have to kind of give it to Slav just because he has that size and he's been doing it a little bit longer than Nazar. But Nazar's freaking good too, man. He's going to be number 4 on that list.
Yeah, Nemec is starting to turn it around. Like, there's even Cutter Gauthier.
Cutter Gauthier is up there.
Shane Wright, Nemec.
Yeah.
Do you remember when everybody was saying that this draft class was poor and weak?
Yeah.
There's some stars that came out of this one.
Snugarud, Renzel.
Oh, Yurov, we're only starting to see him now,
Yeah.
right? But he's another one that could really come into something.
Anyways, that was a lot of talk about this draft class this week
Yeah.
throughout the social medias and the podcasts around the league there. But anyhow, okay, back to you, Nick. Vince mentioned Matthews before. We're gonna go talk about the Leafs, who are the 7th worst team in the league when it comes to goals against. Stolar's goals against average is 3.13 and his save percentage is 893. Some of us on this panel said they would need elite goaltending in order to have a good year. They are not getting it, and they are not having a good year. Are they dying for Wool to finally play a game? Or is this just like early season, everyone's finding their footing? Like you said, most goalies around the league are struggling.
Well,
Is it a serious concern for the Maple Leafs as we speak?
I think that's a good point, though, right? I mean, if most goalies in the league are struggling at the beginning of the year, because there's a lot more, and this happens, I would say, almost every year. At the beginning, offense is free flowing. People are skating like the wind.
Nobody cares about defensive structure.
Defensive systems are not in place yet, right? Nobody cares about structure. And then as the games start getting more important, as they start getting into like big races, right? You see that these coaches really start taking over, and that defensive structure comes in, and that's where the goalies numbers start improving. But I felt like I had this exact same conversation last year. All the goalies were doing nothing. Vasilevsky was starting slow. Everybody was starting slow.
Vasilevsky was slow. You're right.
And then all of a sudden, I think he finished second in fantasy points, Vasilevsky, for goalies last year. It's the only person that starts great is Hellebuck.
Yeah,
that's it.
Starts, finishes.
Finishes. He is great. I think that Toronto Maple Leafs are looking forward for Wool to come back. I think it's too many games for Stolarz to be starting. He's not a 1A goalie for a team. He just has never played that many games. He cannot play over 40 games a year. So they need Wool to come back. And sorry, guys, but Caden Primo, we had him here in Montreal. You know, he's playing right now as the backup until Wool actually comes back for sure. And he's not an NHL goalie. I love the kid. I really felt that he had a lot of promise. And you know what? For a 7th round pick, he's come a long way. But he doesn't seem to be starting material.
Too inconsistent.
That's exactly what it is. Too inconsistent.
The problem with this is Toronto's whole sell point this year was, yes, we lost a 100-point player, but we'll be better defensively. But it doesn't seem like it's happening, and they're feeling the 100-point player that they lost in Marner because they're not scoring as much as they have to, and defensively they're just now. They also lost Tanev, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
that was
left
scary.
on a
That was
stretcher.
scary.
Left on a stretcher.
Give a thumbs up, though.
Yeah,
Hope he's
exactly.
okay.
Yeah, and it was Michkov. It was kind of a nothing play. Like, yes, he bumped into him from behind, but it wasn't a play that you would say that it's an injury.
It wasn't malicious. It didn't look any.
And then you have Nylander that's in one game, out one game. I mean, it's worrisome for Toronto. It's worrisome. The problem is they got playoff bound players, but they need to make the playoffs for it to work.
I'm not worried about that.
So I mean, they're
They're in a playoff spot right now.
Yeah, no, they're not. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, but I
six.
think it's
they got
1 point.
5 teams in front of them before getting
1
to a wild card,
point.
but it's 1 point separates like 12 teams.
Well, yeah,
in
after
the
9
East.
games, 10 games, that's what
So
you're getting.
it's not that bad. They're actually 1 point away from Tampa, who's third in the division.
That's what I'm saying.
So like it could change. The one thing I will say that I did like is that Austin Matthews probably had his best game offensively over the weekend. So hopefully for them and for him, it allows them to turn the corner.
And did you notice Stolars also was getting into more fights last
Yeah.
game?
That's
He's very
usually,
frustrated.
Yeah, exactly. I was
He's
gonna say that's
frustrated.
usually a sign of frustration.
Yeah.
Next, speaking of frustration, I think the Tampa Bay Lightning let out all the frustrations of the slow start, won 5 in a row, and now find themselves third in the Metro Division. Is that what it's called? What are-
Atlantic.
Atlantic.
We're in the
Atlantic Division. I
do you
always
not
get them
know our
mixed.
division?
I get them mixed up. Yeah, 14 points in 12 games. Vince, are they back? Are they for real? Hagel's back on power play 1. Did you see he got a power play goal?
Listen, it was for Tampa. We all said it. We weren't worried. Just like Nick's not worried about Toronto, we weren't worried about Tampa getting it back together. They're well coached. They have their superstar players. They have their superstar goaltenders. So, I mean, they just needed some players. Hagel was fighting something at the beginning of the season. Looks like now he's healthy. Sorelli's back to what he does. So
Sorelli's been a great surprise.
Yeah.
He's
it's
continuing
nice
to
that they,
produce.
and be responsibly defensively and be a great face-off guy for them. So I mean,
Gord has really been okay there in the third line.
Gong?
Gonçalves? Goncalves?
Yeah, he's been doing well. So
They
I'm-
keep finding these guys. There was even another guy that I was looking at that I never knew existed before.
Yeah.
But they keep finding guys that could actually play roles.
Yeah, exactly. And Gensel is Gensel. He just puts the puck in the net. So yeah, listen, Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. None of us had Tampa Bay out of the playoffs. Most of us had Tampa Bay winning this division. So I'm not surprised about their turnaround, their quick turnaround, including today. They won 4-2 against Utah, who was 8-3-1. I think real hot streak.
Vasilevsky also a big part of that
Yeah.
turnaround, right?
A big part of the Vancouver Canucks this year is Kiefer Sherwood, the Cy Young leader this early in the season. And if you're asking me why I'm calling him a Cy Young leader, it's because he's got 9 goals and 0 assists. Guys, Kiefer Sherwood, what do we think of him? Is this sustainable? He's on a 57 goal pace, also 57-point pace. So, no, like he's an overall 2-way player that does great hits, but his shooting percentage right now is at 36. So, Vince, I think I'm at you or
Nick.
I'm at Nick. Nick, tell me about Kiefer Sherwood and what the listeners need to know about him.
Well, you took
How,
all
how reliable is he from a fantasy perspective?
You took all my talking points already. So 36% shooting percentage.
You're just supposed to
that's-
ask the question, Junior.
just ask freaking
I'm
questions.
leading
man.
it up, and you
No,
said you didn't do your homework. You didn't look at the prod sheet, so I was helping you out.
36% shooting percentage is unsustainable, obviously. 9 goals, 0 assists, also unsustainable. But that's not really why you go out and get a Kiefer Sherwood.
Wow.
If you are the type of person that is playing in one of the category leagues and you need hits, he already has 58 hits in the year out of 13 games played. That is insanity. It's 4 hits per game, approximately. Are you doing the calculation now? It's about 4. Let's see. How close am I? 4.46. There we go. So,
365.
last
Pacing.
year he did 462 hits. 462.
That's a lot of hits.
462 hits last year. And he still got 19 goals last year.
Yeah.
Right? So we're talking about a guy that's he is valuable when it
Yeah.
comes to these, and he's getting the most ice time he's ever gotten.
And
He's
got-
at 17 and a half minutes of ice time, where last year he had 14 and almost 15.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was young. I came in here saying, "My God, how young is this guy?" And then Junior turned around, it's like he's 30 years old. I'm like, "Jeez, turning 31." So, yeah, I like Nick said. I don't think his point total is sustainable, but he could be fantasy relevance if you're in a hit league, man. He throws his body around.
Okay, we're going to stick to the fantasy relevance topic for our final odd man rush topic. Both Kurashev of the San Jose Sharks and Burakovsky were bumped to the first line in the recent weeks. Both of them this week had a stellar production. So 6 points in 4 games for Philip Kurashev and 5 points in 3 games for Andrei Burakovsky. A highlight reel goal also. If you guys haven't seen that, go check it out. Which of the two are you guys more confident in? Which of the two should the listeners maybe trust in keeping maybe an extra week or two or stash? Vince, Kurashev or Burakovsky?
Who's Burakovsky playing with?
Bedard. He's on a line
Oh,
with
right,
Bedard,
yeah.
and Kurashev
And,
was on a
Ryan Green.
line with, I think, Celebrini.
Listen, both these guys are playing with phenomenal young centermen in Bedard and Celebrini. Kurashev has proven that he can. They've both proven that they.
Kurashev's played with both.
Yeah, exactly. Like they both proven that they can maintain it. It's just like score and be NHL players. I don't know if I would trust any of them to keep this up.
So in the DPR league with Victor Nuno, we had Kurashev because he was dropped from another team, so I picked him up.
And then
He was a healthy scratch for 2 games
Yeah,
straight, so I dropped. I asked you guys first, and you're like, "Drop him. We don't need him." Dropped him, and he exploded like this. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Mark from DPR League. You're welcome for picking him up because we obviously failed.
Wow, he was
in that.
scratched for 2 games in a row.
Wow, what do you want me to do?
It made no sense. So
But that's a risk, though, you're taking
Yeah,
with this player,
of
right?
course.
Because at the end of the day, he could be scratched again.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Okay, so Kurashev or Burakovsky?
I'm going to go Kurashev just because I dropped him. So guaranteed he's
I'll
going
go with Burakovsky just because I'll do something different from Nick.
And that does it for our Odd Man Rush.
Odd Man Rush.
Friends, hockey is back. And this season, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, brings you all the speed, skill, and nonstop action you love. DraftKings Sportsbook delivers the unmatched intensity of the NHL right to your fingertips. From player props to the thrill of live in-game betting, every drop of the puck is your shot to win big. Nick probably mentioned it last week, but one of his favorite betting props is shots on goal. And who better than the leading shooter of the NHL right now, Nathan McKinnon? I mean, it's almost a guarantee he'll get you over 3.5 shots a game. But check it out. That's one of the most important props. DraftKings is not available here in Quebec, but if it was, it would definitely be the sportsbook we would use. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get paid out $300 in bonus bets instantly. Light the lamp all season long with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8777-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-97777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer. Copyright NHL 2025. All rights reserved.
That Nick affectionately calls Pebble, but no one else likes it. Partial breakaway listener.
Wake up to the aroma of fresh bread and warm croissants baked every morning at Boulangerie Pâtisserie Italia. From cannolis to crusty Italian loaves, Every bite is made with passion, tradition, and a touch of Italy. Come taste the difference, where every pastry tells a story and every loaf is baked with love. Boulangerie Pâtisserie Italia, situated at 5496 Jean Talon East, Saint Leonard. Come visit.
All right. Well, PBLL, also known as Pebble. Last week we had the number one player or general manager, the number one team that got the most points last week was Rolling Fat Dubinski's with 143 points. Second place was Parmigiana. No idea who that is, but if I find out, that's a pretty cool name. And then co-host Junior in third, and co-host Nick in fourth, Dro in fifth, and co-host Nick again in sixth. I'm just saying it. I went all the way down there because that's where I am. So that's good. I mean, things are happening here. If we're taking a look at their last week, Rolling Fat Dubinsky really had some points coming in from Nathan McKinnon, right? I'm trying to see who else did he have. Matthew Schaefer. Matthew Schaefer's had a phenomenal start to the season. Very hard to say that he's not right now the Calder favorite between him and Demidov. Another person was Connor Bedard, had 25 points for him last week, and Kyle Connor, another 24 points.
Wow, 3 players in the 20s.
3 players in the 20s is very hard to do, and Schaefer was at 18, so not that far off. His goalie was Ottinger, who got 16 points as well.
Shut up.
Very good job, Rolling Fat Dubinsky's and general manager Adam. When it comes to this week, let's talk about the schedule a little bit, because there are some teams that are playing 4, but not as many as we've had in previous weeks, right?
Yeah.
So in this week, the week of November the 3rd, we have Anaheim playing 4 games, but like Vince mentioned, they're actually playing 4 difficult games this week with Florida, Dallas, Vegas, and Winnipeg. Carolina is playing 4 games. A little mixed bag for them. Chicago is playing 4 games.
Holloway.
Yeah. Dallas is playing 4 games. So some big names there. Harley, we just spoke about. Heiskanen and so on. Minnesota is playing 4 games. Nashville is playing 4 games. Pittsburgh, who's absolutely on fire to start the season, is playing 4 games. Seattle, with a bunch of their second liners, are playing.
I thought you said there weren't that many teams.
There weren't that many
Oh,
teams last week. There's more teams this week. St. Louis is playing 4 games. Toronto, Utah, and finally Vancouver is playing 4 games. Teams to avoid this week. Well, there's New Jersey Devils are only playing 2 games, and the Columbus Blue Jackets are only playing 2 games. Those are the only 2 teams to probably avoid this week. Gentlemen,
Start your engines. No?
what does your lineup look like, Junior? Did you actually do a lineup this week?
I did a lineup. Probably going to change. I like, so I mentioned earlier that I saw Matthews turning the corner. So in my combo team, I did try to pair him with Nylander. The problem is if Nylander doesn't play, I'm going to probably change that up. So yeah, as the teams that play 4 games, I usually like to go look at the teams that I think have a high scoring schedule, and I'll try to do combinations. So I like Chicago's schedule. So I have Bedard and Nazar entry level contracts. I think 80% of this league is going to have them. I actually like Carolina's week, but I don't have any players from them. But if I have to switch Matthews and Nylander, I'm looking at Aho and Jarvis.
I find Carolina has a couple of hard games in there. Toronto and New York. Shesterkin.
I'm not looking at
And
hard.
Minnesota?
I'm looking at, but Minnesota's been really bad and allows a lot of goals.
Yeah, Gustafsson.
Buffalo and
Gustafsson.
Toronto also allow goals. So
It's a tougher
Yeah.
schedule.
yeah.
Interesting.
And
All right.
2 of those games are at home. Anyways, just Aho and Jarvis also play against the best lines of the other team all the time. So I'm not too worried about them producing, right?
I find Vancouver had an easier schedule this week with games like Nashville,
Chicago, Columbus, and Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado is the hard one there. But
I
even
mean,
Colorado
you could
hasn't
still
been-
go. You can score goals
You
in
could
Colorado.
score. Yeah, you could score against them. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty much those are the teams that I was eyeing and looking at, and I like Seattle as well. I took Shane Wright in one of my teams.
Well, he just basically stole my strategy, so which means I'm not going to catch up to him this week. I filled mine with, except for Nylander, I filled mine with Matthews Nice. I like that combination. Nice, I think at 7.7 is a steal in this league. And then I just plugged in short ELC contracts. Bedard, Nazar. My two defensemen are a little weak. Left Shunov, but I put in two Carolina players, Jackson Blake. In case Seth Jarvis, he's not 100%, he'll be the guy to step in. And Nikishin, and I put my hopes on Stolars that he comes back this week.
He touched on something very important.
He touches a lot of things.
Except his wife.
No, my wife doesn't touch me, Junior. Get that right.
No, so
tries.
he said something pretty important that the listeners should know more about. He said that I have we know each other's lineups because we have a podcast and we're saying it out loud, but we're not at that point in time where you should overthink it and say, oh, the guys in front of me are going to have
No.
these players, let me not take them. No,
way
if
too
those
early.
are the guys you think are going to get points, you take them regardless that you think 80% of the league is going to have them. We haven't reached that stage yet of the season where you can start overthinking
No,
it. Like
the
that.
after the holidays is where you really try to, if you're,
Depending on the point
yeah,
gap.
depending on
and-
the point gap, you start trying to hit those home runs. Now we're just going for singles right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, for me, I'm trying to stick with guys that are hot. Bedard was hot last week. Leo Carlson was hot
Leo
last
Carlson.
week.
Leo
What a
Carlson.
player.
Wow.
Right? Like, he's been killing it right now. Nyes was hot last week. JJ Paterka actually was doing very well as well last week. And you're going to laugh. Kiefer Sherwood. Right? 1.5.
Scores. Hey.
No, he also hits.
You
And there
you-
are points for
yes.
hitting here, right?
You said
So-
you liked their schedule.
I like their schedule this week. I'm going to go with a Kiefer. You know what? I was actually hoping to get a Quinn Hughes, but he's injured.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate.
Luckily,
because
Besser came back for them, though.
Besser did come back for them. I grabbed Zeev Buyam. I needed some cheap contracts in the back, but Thomas Harley, $4 million. I keep saying
Yeah.
it in every year, right? Or every week, sorry, so far. He's still at that $4 million contract for now. And I went with Jake Ottinger in goal because simply he is the best goalie that I could think of that's playing 4 games this week. Or he's not going to play all 4 games, but Dallas has only one back-to-back during the week. And some easy teams, in this, like Edmonton hasn't been scoring a lot. Anaheim has been actually harder, but
Yeah.
Nashville hasn't been doing great. Seattle,
I would have gone with Anaheim players. Just they have a tough schedule. Florida, Dallas, Vegas, Winnipeg.
I was thinking Dostal,
Yeah,
and then I'm like, I don't know how many wins we're
yeah.
going to get out of that, right?
exactly.
And I don't think you have to fear having Ottinger versus Edmonton because that could lead to a lot of saves.
Yeah.
Even if he allows a few goals.
Yeah. So I think that's all our strategies for this week. So far, a month into this league, how do you guys feel about Pebble right now?
I feel absolutely great about it.
But is it fun? Are you enjoying it? Like, forget the fact that you're in first and second.
I am enjoying it, and I actually feel nervous making my lineup, being
Yeah.
in first and second.
Yeah.
And
Which-
I don't know if that has to do with us having the podcast but it's really entertaining because I see the leaps that teams are making,
Yeah.
and I could tell you, Ready to Play was like 20 something 2 weeks ago, and now is flirting in the between 5 and 10.
Yeah.
So it's really something. Well, Vince, your Bigfoot team, how far back was it?
I was second to last after after week 1. So it's a fun league. I feel obviously later on once people are really out of it, it's gonna maybe slow down for them. But for the people who are in it, I mean, every Monday you're looking at the schedule, you're listening to us to see, who's playing 4 games, who's not, and trying to make your best team in $35 million, which is not easy.
No, but what I like about it is that, yes, you're often going to have a lot of these ELCs that
Yeah.
you're repeating, right, from team
Yeah.
to team. But where you decide to spend your money is where the big crux comes in, right?
Yeah.
Are you spending that $11 million for McKinnon, or would I spend 9 for Kaprizov, or I'm going to spend
9 for Kucherov.
9 for Kucherov, right? Like, which one am I doing this week? And I find that's the cool part.
We're so into this league that we even forget that we have a draft. We have a league us three.
Oh, yeah, but that's our stake league.
Actually,
Yeah,
That's
just
what I'm calling it, right?
shout out to Mike Batista who helped the commish of
Yeah.
technically of this
Yeah,
league
this-
who helped set this up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, do you want to talk about our league? since
Well,
you brought
listen,
it
I'm
up,
in
or-
last place, so I really don't want to talk about it. But just
You're
so
exactly
the,
where you're supposed to be.
just so the
For once.
just so the listeners know, co-host Junior is at 693, co-host Nick 653, and I'm at 607.
We're all
man.
about
That's
40 points
terrible.
away from each other.
Yeah, it's about that. But listen, we have.
Has anybody made changes?
I
have
made
not.
one. I made one change,
Oh,
and
behind
now,
our backs, eh?
but now I have to make other changes. But I'll make like Patrick Kane's been out for 6 months, I think, right now. Like I don't even know why he's still
coming
in my
back
lineup.
next week.
Yeah, next week. Hours. So yeah, so that's our league.
All right.
I started like that last year too in our league.
I hope you guys are enjoying it, and thanks for cutting us off. But
Well,
I hope you guys are enjoying it, and please comment on the on Pebble. Let me know how much you're enjoying it. Like, we want to know if you guys actually like this or not, and we can continue it next year. Maybe modify a bit.
We're gonna continue for sure. Maybe modify it.
No, I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
we need feedback though.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know how you guys are feeling
Yeah.
about this.
And
league.
even just telling us like I think this team has the easiest schedule this week. I'm focusing on this team, or like let us know what you think on our socials, and let's create a discussion, a
absolutely,
conversation.
it's important.
To the final segment. We're 45 minutes in. Oh man, this is going for 2 hours. Keep these short, boys. Okay, so our next segment is called Fantasy Faceoffs. So
Who's it brought to you by?
we're basically taking two players. I'm going to explain first, and then I'll see what it's brought to. We're going to take two players, and Junior and Nick will discuss the two players and the fantasy relevance, and give you guys more information. And this is basically
You really
brought
have
to
to
us.
explain that.
Yep. And this is basically brought to us by ANC Photo Booth. Listen, your Christmas parties are coming. Santa is coming to town. All your little jingle bells are coming out. So why not?
I thought you were gonna say something else.
Why not give them a call for a photo booth? I mean, it just makes the party even better. Memories that you can keep, pictures you can directly send to your phone. They are getting booked very, very quickly. So if you want more information, you can contact them or visit them at acphotobooths.ca and on Instagram at ANDC Photo Booths. And like I said, you tell them you know the Partial Breakaway podcast, so you listen to us, and they'll be kind enough to give you a discount because they feel sorry for us. So we're good. All right. So basically, like I said, we're gonna name two players. I'm gonna name two players, and then you guys discuss. I'll give you a type of question to go around with it. So I'll call this one the Rookie Showdown, which is really not the Rookie Showdown, but I'll still call it the Rookie Showdown. Okay, so Macklin Celebrini versus Logan Cooley. Who's the better long-term hold, the setup man or the sniper? Junior.
I'm going with Macklin Celebrini.
Mm.
I'm going with Macklin Celebrini. That's not taking anything away from Logan Cooley. I just think Macklin Celebrini shoots more. I think in the end he'll get more points than Logan Cooley. Not by much, but I think Celebrini can hit 100 points. I think Cooley is closer to 90.
Wow. 100 points. Remember when we were talking about Celebrini, we were saying he was going to be a good player, but never be.
He's really
But
impressed.
he's, Nick?
He's pacing for 114 points.
Celebrini is age 19.
Wow.
He's 6 foot tall, 190 pounds. Cooley is age 21, 6 foot tall, 191 pounds. Not 1 pound to be water weight. Who knows? Celebrini,
It could be that extra money in his pocket.
could be. He's a little bit richer right now, but Celebrini, I feel, is going to get paid.
Yeah.
Look, Celebrini there's no comparison here. Celebrini is the number one player between these two, but it says it comes a long way to say that Cooley could even be compared, or close to comparable. You know, right now I just find that Celebrini's on a level that's maybe beating out or close to. I would have preferred if this was Celebrini Bedard.
Yeah.
This conversation.
Okay, so turn it into Celebrini Bedard.
I still might pick Celebrini.
I still might pick Celebrini.
Ooh, you might have lost me there.
Oh yeah, because you're a Bedard owner. But
Bedard will end up scoring more goals.
Which
just
is,
don't
which
think-
fantasy wise is you're better off.
But do you think he's a 90-point player and scores more goals?
Bedard, yeah. I think so.
guys, Celebrini came in known as a two-way player and put unbelievable points up. He destroyed the points in his first year. He got 63 points in his first year. Okay, 25 goals, 38 assists. He's following that up with a 114-point pace.
Yeah, he's not having the sophomore slump that Bedard had his second.
Bedard had a
Not
sophomore.
yet. It's
Not
still
yet.
early.
It's still early.
Still
It's
early,
still
but-
early.
All right.
You know, Bedard in his first year had
61.
61 points. So we're talking about,
They could
Neck
be
and
very
neck.
similar players.
but Celebrini was never projected to be Bedard.
Exactly.
Bedard was projected to be.
Yeah.
Crosby.
Point wise and Celebrini.
At one point, people
yeah.
were saying he's the next one. You know, it's
And to the listeners, we're gonna try to put these face offs on Instagram, on social, so you guys can vote and see what everyone votes. So
let's make it like a three voting.
three. You want Bedard too?
I want
this
Bedard
one?
in it.
Okay, so we're gonna do Celebrini, Cooley, Bedard. That's for the first one. Second one, we're gonna talk about young wingers who are getting first line time on ice. William Eklund and Juraj Slavkovsky. Which young winger is more reliable in a keeper league?
So my question is not so much of whether it's a keeper league or not. It's what do you value? Does your league have hits? Because Eklund doesn't hit, but Slavkovsky hits, right? So right there, you might have an edge to Slavkovsky just in that. But William Eklund right now, like last year, he had 58 points. Slavkovsky had 50, but Eklund didn't have the hits that Slavkovsky did. So I think that they're very, very close.
Goals?
Goals, Eklund last year 17,
And
Slavkovsky 50.
15. Okay, so they're really close in
Very close in point production so far.
junior.
Slavkovsky just gets the edge. Sorry,
For
Slavkovsky
you,
just gets the
yeah.
edge for me because of
The
the
hits.
physicality. And this year he started off strong. So they both started off strong.
Yeah,
actually,
exactly.
this year.
Hence why I put them together, Nick. I do my homework.
I'm gonna go with Slavkovsky because of goals. He's hit 20 goals already once in his career, and 18. William Eklund hasn't hit 20 yet. Eklund will likely get more points than him, but I think as the Canadians now get better, as now you can see he's starting to find his game, I think he can be a 30 to 35 goal scorer in this league consistently.
If he hits 30, I'll be very happy.
He's got everything to be able to do that. I don't think he's going to be like an 80-point player, but if he can score 35 goals and 20 assists or something, that's more than
All right.
He
that's
plays a
pretty
big
good.
role on that
So
top line.
Slavkovsky for the win. All right. Our next group is we're gonna talk.
Plus, Eklund has more competition.
we spoke about young players, and now we're gonna go to the
On the left.
veterans. The veterans who are still performing. So John Tavares versus Brian Rust. Who's the better plug and play option for weekly matchups?
I think it's always going to be Tavares. And the reason is because his team is just better and he plays with William freaking.
Be careful, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But so Pittsburgh has started off great, and Rust usually plays with Crosby. So it's hard to say. But Toronto traditionally is a better team than Pittsburgh. Not this year so far, but just because of that reason, I find Tavares is the better player.
Junior?
You have to go with Tavares. The guy, every time we think he's going to slow down, he doesn't. The guy's pacing for 109 points, and the Leafs have been sucking.
And he's a $4 million man.
and he
4.5.
and half the time he doesn't even play with Nylander. So what's happening, you know? But only 2 power play points. So it's not like to say, you know, he's getting all his points on the power play. It's got to be, you got to go with the point per game player over the 70-point player.
All right. Next one. 2 young studs, centermans. Jack Hughes and Stutzel. Who's the better centerpiece for your fantasy rebuild? So if you're a rebuilding team, are you taking Stutzel or are we taking Jack Hughes here?
I think Jack Hughes is the better talent all around.
Yes, but there's one issue with Jack Hughes, which you're
Is that
going to mention.
he gets injured
There you
quite
go.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Susla has, at least last year, shown that he could stay healthy, right? 8.4 million. It depends if it's a cap league or not, right? Because that's gonna play a little bit of a role. But they're pretty close, right?
They're pretty close. I think Hughes is at 8. no?
8 million.
8.5?
8
8
million.
million.
He's
Yeah.
8 on the dot. That's
Yeah.
freaking good. What a steal! What a steal. So, anyways, Stutla, great player. Did you see how he rocked Gallagher
Yeah.
and then he went down the ice and scored a beauty against Montalbo?
Yeah.
Just don't like his face. But anyways, what are you gonna do?
I know. But he listened, even
He
without
has a face that you want to punch.
even without his Robin, he's still producing. Without
still
Kachuk.
look,
so
look,
it says
hell
a
of a
lot
player.
from him.
Hell of a player.
Same thing with Jack Hughes. I mean, he's just a shooting machine. Junior?
It's got to be Jack Hughes. When he's healthy, he's in a different league than Stützle. Even Stützle at his best and Hughes at his best, it's Hughes hands down.
Really? Susla's gotten 90 points before.
I don't know if it's that much of a runaway because at the end of the day, you say if he stays healthy.
He's paced 100 points twice, and once was 98. He's paced 93, 94.
Yeah, but paced.
I now give me games played.
Pace.
Well, look, in a year where he played 62 games and he got 70 points. That same year, Stützle got 79 points in 82 games.
Yeah, it was an off year for Stutzel. That's
no,
what I'm
it wasn't
saying.
an off year.
What?
The year before he paced 77. Only 1 year he paced 95.
Okay.
So on a 62 game pace, in 62 games played for Hughes, he got almost as many points as Stützle in 82 games played.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a different tier.
I think that there's a lot more respect going towards Stützle lately.
I don't
because
like him.
I think that you don't see him necessarily as that prolific number one center, and he's kind of turning into that.
All right, our next ones are guys that started the season really slow. I mean, Nick was sweating at one point to one of these players. Velarde versus Hagel.
I was sweating on both of them.
Yeah, it was just.
I have Velarde and Lama. I have Hagel and LPHL.
Who's the better flex forward in the points league? So let's say your left wingers are all full, your right wingers are full, your centermans are full. You have one flex spot left. Are you putting Velarde or are you putting Hagel?
Well, my super flex league this week, I should have put JJ McCarthy, but I ended up putting Trevion Henderson. Anyways, that's not what you meant, but look, Hagel, I love Hagel. I love both these players. The only thing is that Velarde scares me because he gets injured more often. Although in Winnipeg, it hasn't been as bad. Whereas I know Hagel is playing 82 games. So he's Mr. Reliable. Like, honestly, last year he had 90 points. The year before that, 75. And he just feels like he's getting better with age. And the funny thing is, none of this production was on the power play. It's like only 11 power play points out of 90 that he had last year, Hagel. Like, it's unbelievable. This year, he started off slower, Hagel. Velarde as well, obviously, which is why the question was asked. But he's been picking it up big time in the last couple of weeks.
Junior?
8 points in the last 5 games. By the way.
I think the fancy name is Velarde because Hagel kind of came out of nowhere and everyone always just suspects that he can't sustain it, and he always does. I got to go Brandon Hagel. But I don't think there's that much that separates the two if and it's a big part, but games played.
Games played.
If it's 82 games played for both, I don't think there's much that separates them.
I agree.
Unfortunately, Velarde has a really terrible track record.
71 games played last year for Velarde, which was the most that he's done in the last 3 years. 47 games played, 63, 25, 54. Like, we're not talking 80s here.
No.
right?
All right, the next question before we get the haters from the Habs fan. I'm just comparing these two players because of this year. I'm not comparing their seasons. I'm not comparing their careers. I'm just comparing these two players this year. Nick Schmaltz versus Nick Suzuki. Which Nick is better fantasy? Nick? Nick?
In the nick of time. Well, I think Suzuki is the better player simply because of the fact that every single year that
I'm not saying player, but like this year.
I'm saying this year as
Okay.
well. I mean, look, it's hard to
'Cause Suzuki-
argue against.
Suzuki for sure is the better player in the long run. I just want to know this year with the resurgence of Nick Schmaltz.
So Nick Schmaltz has
fantasy-wise.
started off extremely hot.
Yeah.
But if I'm a podcast and I want to give advice to people, I have more faith in Suzuki keeping this up. Whereas I don't have faith Nick Schmaltz will necessarily be the top player in the NHL at game 82,
Game 82.
right? Suzuki right now is 18 points in his last 11 games. He's on pace for over 100 points this year. And last year, he had 89 points. The year before that, 77. The year before that, 66. Like, he's been just 11 points more, 11 points more, 11 points more, right?
Progressing.
Just progressing. So 11 points more than last year would be 100 points right now for Nick Suzuki, and he's on pace to do that. 26 years old. I just see the progression maintaining a little bit more.
Yeah, the one thing Nick Schmaltz has going for him is the contract year. These crazy seasons always happen. We talk about it time and time again. These career seasons always happen on contract years, and Nick Schmaltz is in a contract year. So might he end a point per game player? I wouldn't be surprised. But what I will tell you is that Nick Suzuki is pacing 123 points with only a 7% shooting. Only has 2 goals on a 7% shooting. So, I mean, that's going to balance itself out. Obviously, it doesn't mean he's going to get 160, but he's more likely to finish at 90 to 100 points than Nick Schmaltz is.
All right, let's go to the elites of the elites. Mr. Draisaitl versus McKinnon. McKinnon leads the total points in fantasy output, and Draisaitl is very goal heavy and consistent on power play. Who's the true fantasy MVP from these two players? Junior.
Why'd you start with me? I gotta go McKinnon. He in all types of leagues or categories, he hits a little more. He shoots more. I won't say he scores more. He doesn't score more, but gets more points more often than not. But I'm going to go with Nathan McKinnon. But again, you can't go wrong with either of these. Look, some were trying to make the case that McKinnon should have been first overall in fantasy leagues, should have been drafted first overall in fantasy leagues. They weren't saying that about Draisaitl. There's a reason for that. And a lot of that is because of what he's done in the last 2 to 3 years. And he started off with that intent to be the best in the league.
It's funny you say that because a big conversation. I'm in a league with Rolling Fat Dubinsky's. It's a redraft league, and he basically went McKinnon because he's like, how do you not? McDavid, because he's like, how do you not pick McDavid first overall?
Exactly.
And I had second overall, and I'm like, I'm happy that you did that because I'm going to take McKinnon.
It made your decision so
It
much
made my-
easier.
Absolutely. But Draisaitl wasn't necessarily in that conversation of 1-2 for me. You know, it was either McKinnon or McDavid. That's one or the other. This year, he's pacing for 120 points. Last year, he was pacing for 120 points. The year before that, he got 140 points. It's not only the points, but it's consistency.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, he is a little bit of a nutcase, and you kind of enjoy it. So he's outproducing Draisaitl right now. Draisaitl's
Yeah,
on a 100
right now
and 1 point
McKinnon
pace.
is the first is the biggest output for fantasy points.
Yeah.
And whatever you're looking at. All right, the next one, two two young defensemen, and then I'm going to ask you if a third one belongs in this conversation. Zeev Buyen versus the unbelievable Matt Schaefer. And does Nikishin belong in this conversation? Nick.
So, very good question because Nikishin
Schaefer.
hasn't been talked about as much as Schaefer, obviously.
Yeah.
Schaefer has 5 goals, 5 assists in 12 games played, and Schaefer.
Yeah. Schaefer
has
has
been
10.
doing very, very
Buyen
good.
has 8, and Nikishin has 6.
But Nikishin is doing everything. That's the difference, right? He's hitting, he's blocking, he's playing huge minutes. Schaefer as well is doing very, very well.
Yeah.
And Buyem's doing very well. But I just find Buyem is pure offense,
Yeah.
whereas Schaefer is a little more offense, but also has some defensive metrics to him. And Nikishin is just a star both ways.
Listen, with Carolina, you would not know that Jacob Slavin is injured on that team.
No, I do
Because
not.
of what
Nikishin
Nikishin
is-
is doing. Junior?
I think it's got to be Matthew Schaefer. It is so rare that an 18-year-old comes into the league
Oh, yeah.
and paces for 20 goals to start the year.
Yeah.
He's already won me over. I didn't think he could be this impactful in the NHL offensively, and he's been more than I expected. 5 goals, 5 assists in 10 games. It's got to
Nice.
be Matthew Schaefer, but I agree. Nikishin, I think he's flying a bit under the radar, and I think he likes it that way. But he's going to be one of those names. He could end up being one of those headmans, those big defensemen that contribute offensively and that could do all the little things right defensively too.
All right. So the next one is
Another guy we could have thrown in there as well that's going a little bit under the radar is Matichuk.
yeah,
Has the
with
same
Columbus.
Points. Yeah. Same points as Nikishin.
So from two rivalry teams, I mean, I think there's a huge rivalry right now between Ottawa and Montreal. Jake Sanderson and Lane Hudson, fantasy-wise.
Are you sure it's a rivalry? I mean, I thought they were playing together. They gave them a breakaway to win the game.
You're cute, Junior.
Did you
You're
see how freaking physical that game
Yeah.
was?
Yeah.
But so Jake Sanderson and Lane Hudson, who's fantasy
And what's
output-wise?
McDermott doing going after Hudson? Like McDermott, you're just. I know you're looking for a fight, but come on.
So am I going to ask my question now?
No, because they complain that we go after Stutzla, and they're going after our smallest player. Like, really?
Listen, there's one thing that has to happen in the NHL like in the good old days.
I hate Ottawa,
Okay, but there's one thing that has to happen, and I'm
Welcome to
and I'm all for.
but I hate
this
them as a
happening.
rival. Like,
Yeah.
like I respect them, but I hate them as a rival. Like, there's people that you just love to hate on that team.
But their fans don't make it. They make it very easy to hate them.
yeah, but
Let's
I
be
mean,
honest.
But I'm sure they hate guys on our team.
Yeah.
as
Oh
well,
yeah,
right?
Montreal fans make it easy to hate.
Yeah,
Listen,
that's why it's a good rivalry. That's why it's good.
in
back
the
and forth.
NHL, players have to bring back that if you go after one of my star players, I'm not coming after the player that hurt my star player. I'm coming after one of your star players, and it's an eye for an eye. And at one point, people like McDermott will stop trying to go after Hudson because
The guy
player-
plays 2 minutes a
no,
game.
but like players on his own team, like Stutzel, will tell him, "Hey, jackass, I'm getting murdered outside on the rink because of you." So, and
If
that's what
they
has
even
to be
think
back.
I still like the fact that Struble gave Nick Cousins a freaking beatdown for going after them, slashing Demidov in preseason.
a two-handed slash. It was more like a hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Okay, so back to the question. Fantasy wise, Jake Sanderson or Lane Hudson? Who's going to give you the most fantasy points?
I'm still pissed.
I know you are. Okay, Junior, I'll go with you until Nick gets his hormones back into place.
Hormones.
I think points wise, Lane Hudson might get more points, but Jake Sanderson's gonna get goals.
There, that's
And,
what I was waiting
in
for.
fantasy leagues. Look, he's already got double-digit goals twice in his 3 full seasons. That's very important in fantasy. So, I think unless Lane Hudson starts putting up Makar or Quinn Hughes numbers, it's got to be Jake Sanderson.
Nick?
Well, I think Jake is a top 6-7 defenseman already in the league. And Lane Hudson is right there as well, but in a different category, maybe not as well rounded, right? One thing's for sure is that, like, if you watch Demigod and Hudson,
Oh my God.
they're just playing
Yeah.
chess out there. Everybody
They're
else is
playing
playing
catch.
checkers, right? Like it's unbelievable. They're just a level above everybody else. So you don't see that with Sanderson necessarily.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he does everything well, and he just puts up points. He's a great player to have.
I think in their careers, they're both going to be always in the top, at least 10 in fantasy points. I just think like Junior, unless Hudson starts scoring a little more, Jake Sanderson will have the edge because fantasy relevance goals always count for more. So and even if you go in deeper leagues where you get hits and blocks, then Jake Sanderson is the guy because he's gonna get the hits and the blocks.
And they're both for Team USA, by the way.
Yeah.
I'd love to see these guys
My
together
God.
on the same
Well, Lane
pairing.
Hudson's not going to make the team. We know that already. Last year, Lane Hudson started really slow, remember?
Well, yeah, because
And
he wasn't in the power play.
He ended with 66 points. He's on pace for 75 points. Can you hit that?
He's on
Jake
pace
Sanderson's on pace for 69.
69. Yeah. So you see, the biggest difference with between these two is going to be the goals. That's what it's going to be. All right, now to struggling goaltenders, like really
This is the last one.
two more.
Jesus.
Okay, but I'll put all four of them together so you guys can tell me exactly what you think because they're four struggling goaltenders. Okay, struggling goaltenders: Jacob Markstrom, Sam Antable, Sorokin, Allmark. Which ones are? Well, listen, these guys all at caliber where they can all get out of their funk. But which one do you think will do it quicker, and which one do you think is just it's just going to be one of those years where they're going to struggle? Nick,
Did you Sorokin, Allmark, Montembeau?
Montembeau and Markstrom.
Well, I think there's two guys right off the bat that are guaranteed going to be better, and that's Sorokin because he's just more talented than all the other guys that you mentioned, and I think Markstrom as well is going to do much better. I'm not sure why but I think he was injured.
He was
to start
injured.
the
Well,
year.
he's coming back this week, if I'm not mistaken, from his injury.
So it's a little bit of a injury thing going on there. But last year, like Sorokin ended up with 12 goal saves above expected, higher than a lot of other guys that you mentioned. So Allmark as well is like Allmark's really struggling, like you said. Montembeau's really struggling, like you said.
Yeah.
I just find that talent-wise, I have a lot more faith in Sorokin and Markstrom.
The thing with Montembeau and Allmark, they're both struggling, but their teams are still doing well. Montreal because of Dobish, but Ottawa, even with Allmark's sour, they're still doing well.
That's what I was going to say. I think Dobish and Allen will allow Montembeau and Markstrom to find their game faster. So they have more practice time techniques. They don't have to figure it out in game, whereas Sorokin and Allmark can do that. Because Ottawa's winning because their offense is winning them games, but Maryland hasn't been good either.
No.
Their
Which is
backups
very
haven't been good.
impressive, by the way, without Brady Kachuk.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Very
impressive
impressive.
without.
Well,
Brady
Shane
Tkachuk.
Pinto's
Pinto,
is-
Stusla,
Amadeo too.
Batherson. Apart from that brain fart that
Batherson
he
has
had,
been on
yeah.
absolute
but
fire.
he was the one that did that.
the-
cough up in the middle of the.
The game winning assist.
Yeah.
Montembeau.
All right, so listen, we're gonna try to have all these or as much as we can up on social media. Guys, vote. Let us know who you think. Let us know where we're wrong. And listen, I hope you enjoyed the episode. It's a charged up week in hockey this week, so enjoy the hockey that's being played. Do you guys see any team this week struggling? Like the way Boston went 3-0 and then struggled the next week. Do you see any of these teams, any team struggling this week?
I mean, off the top of my head, it's really hard to say, but I'll say maybe Pittsburgh struggles this week.
Pittsburgh. Junior, give me a team that's going to struggle this week.
I'm gonna say Edmonton.
Edmonton, and I'm going to go with Anaheim. I think Anaheim's schedule is really tough. All right, peeps.
Like, subscribe, send us your feedback, and also answer those polls that we're going to be creating on socials. Guys,
Have
thank
a
you
good
very
week.
much. Have a good week.
Have a great week.
Stay
Good-
safe.
Good luck in Pebble League.
Stay happy. Hug your family.